Starving artist tag. Well, I have a huge anxiety attack, or panic attack, that is. I am just ready to crawl under the covers and not be comfortable, I guess. I don't know what I wanted to say. I lost the thought. But anyway, starving artist tag. I'm pretty sure most of the people that do this aren't starving. And I have done an artist tag in the past. I know I have, but I don't think it's this one. And even if I did, I'm going to do it again. So, Yippers. This is take two because I let out a huge belch while I was trying to talk. So, my stomach's upset. I drank some tea that was in the cupboard for years, and I thought it would be okay, and it wasn't. So, anyways, what's your favorite experience as an artist? Favorite experience as an artist? Wow. Interpersonally, I got to meet a couple of famous people in my time at gallery shows. I never had a gallery show, by the way, but I've been invited to a couple in the past. And Leonard Cohen, I met him once, and he was pretty much a big dick, but it was quite the experience to be in the same room with somebody that I idolized for his musical talent. As for personal achievement, I'm going to have to go for when I made it into a calendar. One of my pieces of art, I made it into a calendar. I think I was November, which is really cool because that's my birth month. It was years ago, so I may be wrong. What's your least favorite experience as an artist? Parents weren't supportive of it at all until I made it into the calendar. Then all of a sudden my mother thought it was a good thing. But before that, there was zero support from her. I was told as a child I'm wasting my time by drawing and stuff and being creative, and they discouraged it. And I'm glad I didn't let them discourage me from it, but they were very discouraging. That's my least favorite experience. What are your dreams/goals for your art? I don't have dreams or goals for my art. I just do it for fun. And I share it for free. People can download my stuff. It's all digital. I haven't done physical media in decades. So, they can download my stuff from my art page and do whatever they want with it, except resell. If the bots catch it being resold, I'll do something about it, but that's not likely because I'm not going into it. Anywho, it's just the system doesn't work very well, if you ask me. But dreams and goals. I want to get better. I'm more of a fractalist than a traditional artist at the moment. I haven't done much in the realm of abstractionism or 3D stuff or drawing or anything like that in a very long time, or even digital painting. Or even filter fun or layered images. I haven't done any of that in a very long time. Just a really large number of fractals. I want to get better at them. I want to be better at them. There are people that I'm in a group with that are gods at fractals. I mean, they're god level, they're way beyond most of us. I can make some pretty stuff now and then, but if I work at it. But these people can do astonishing work. And I would like to be like that someday, and although I don't think I ever will be. So my ability to remember stuff is fading. So yeah. What's your favorite media and why digital? Because it's so easy. It's quick. It's a lot quicker to draw on a tablet with a stylus, I think, than it is to draw on paper. It's definitely more forgiving. Working in digital arts of any kind is just way more easy to do, and is way more versatile as well, I think. What inspired you to do art, and why do you love it? What inspired me? I just always really kind of liked artsy, crafty things. But in the 1980s, I forget what year it came out, but there was an album by Rational Youth that came out, and I'm like, I want to be creative. I want to create things like these guys did, and it was the album Heredity, and in fact, and it just it blew my doors off, and it made me want to be way more into it than I was. I wanted to expand it into writing as well, and I got into poetry, and I got into short stories. I never got super good at those, but I enjoyed them a lot. I should do more poetry. I do enjoy it. I don't do rhyme and measure. It's a non-traditionalist style, sometimes known as cowboy poetry. But yeah, anyways, yeah. But yeah. That's what really drew me into it. What's the favorite piece you ever made, and why is it special? I made a crucifix out of barbed wire and did a wire bending. It took me weeks to make this thing. It was about 3 feet tall, and it was really semi-abstract, but you could tell it was a crucifix, and it was extremely satisfying to create. I pricked myself and had to go for a tetanus shot and the whole 9 yards, But yeah, it was made out of rusty barbed wire, and it was extraordinarily satisfying to finish this piece and to be happy with it, I think I sold it for $100, and which at the time was in the 1990s, was an okay amount for what it was, and being that nobody ever heard of me, I did a lot of experimental sculpture stuff back then. Electronic components that were painted different colors and placed in patterns and whatnot. I did a lot of that. Even did some electronic ones where they had flashing lights and numbers counting up and stuff like that. But I haven't done anything like that in really, really a long time. I don't have any equipment to do it anymore anyways. What are your biggest art influences? Wow. I really super suck at names, right? So, I I'm probably not going to remember anybody's name. I'm just not. Uh, there was an Australian artist that did a piece in a warehouse where he painted it entirely white on the inside of an old warehouse, and hung some paper sculpture things all over the place, and is a conceptual piece. And I read his book, and I saw a bunch of his stuff, and yeah, that was influential to me in a big way. Picasso, of course, Jackson Pollock, the entire surrealist movement. So what's his name? I don't remember his name. It's gone. No, I don't remember that. The guy that did the clocks and all that. He's literally the most famous surrealist. I can literally see his face in my head, but I cannot recall his name. Escher. Escher was a big influence on my artistic endeavors. I did some 3D pieces that were extremely Escher-like. Recently, a person that does a lot of line work, line drawings and stuff like that, illustration, like black and white illustrations, and very little shading whatsoever, and all that stuff. Very, very minimalist type erotica called 820.jpg. Is it 820 or 822.jpg? JPG. It's 820 or 822. You can find that on Instagram. You can find him on Instagram. His icon is either an 820 or 822. I can't, like I said, my name recognition is gone, and I never had it actually. So, and there's a person who knits, a nudist who knits on Twitter, or X, I guess. That's an inspiring person to me too. I've never even tried to learn how to knit, of course, but what did you learn from from being a full-time artist? I never was a full-time artist. I was always a hobby artist. I was never a full-time artist, so I didn't learn anything from being a full-time artist. I've never been good enough at any form to think that I could make a living off it. Digital art is hard to make a living off of unless you get lucky and get popular. And there doesn't seem to be rhyme or reason why people get popular in digital art. So there just doesn't. I know some people that are exceptional. Photorealism, you know what I mean? Photorealism. And they're doing it all by hand with stylus and drawing tablet and all that. They're awesome. No recognition whatsoever. And I know some people that are really bad that have sold big money pieces. So, it just doesn't make sense to me. What do your family and friends think about you being an artist? Like I say, my dad discouraged it until the day he died. My mother only got into it after I got published, and she could show it off and look, my son did this, she had that thing in her hand she could show people, and then bragging rights. But my friends have always been supportive of it, always. Was being an artist your childhood dream? If not, what is? I've never dreamed of being a full-time artist or being a popular artist or making a living off it. Uh, I've sold very little of it in the past. I mean, very little of it. A few physical pieces I've sold, a couple of digital ones, very, very, very few out of the thousands and thousands of pieces of digital art that I've created. I've never really dreamed about it. I've always just wanted to enjoy it. If not, what is my childhood dream? I don't think I really have. That changed from day to day. I didn't have a plan or a goal to achieve from childhood. You know what I mean? What advice can you give to people who want to be more artistic and creative? Practice, practice, practice. Just do it. Watch some tutorials on YouTube. Read some books if that's better for you than watching tutorials is. And just get some tools, some simple tools, and try it. And a simple drawing tablet is, an Android tablet, a cheap $100 or $200 Android tablet, and a cheap drawing app, a simple drawing app, and away you go. Just start doing it. Don't have to spend huge money on really powerful tools until you get better at it. But get some tools that do layers and try layering images. Just play with it. Have fun. Experiment. Were you supported to pursue art as a child? Obviously not. Do you make money off your art? Obviously not. I haven't made more than treat money off my art in many, many years. What do you want to improve on, aspire to be with your future art? Like I said, just be a better fractalist. I do very little else, but I do want to improve, and I'm slowly getting slightly better, but I don't think I'm ever going to be great at it. What feelings do we try to express in our art? It's just pure form. I'm not trying to express a feeling. I'm not trying to make people feel anything. It's basically very generic, it's just something that looks nice on the wall. That's all it is to me. I have done in the past, try to express things with it, ideas of very anti-religious viewpoint, from a very anti-religious viewpoint, but not for a very, very, very long time. What is your favorite thing to paint and why? You're assuming the person doing this tag is a painter. They could be a sculptor, they could be a musician, they could be a poet, they could be a writer. It's all art. But as for digital painting, which I never got super good at, I was adequate, but I never got super good at it. I think abstraction is the most fun and the most. It's just rewarding as to physically painting. When I did that, which I did very little of, abstracts were very, very fun. Yeah. What's the strangest thing you've ever painted? Uh, did a digital painting back in the 8-bit days. This was all black and white with line shading. It took a very long time to do because of the limitations of what I was working with. But basically, it was just a flying penis. So that's the strangest thing. Have you ever been hung up after you started a commission, and how did you handle it? I've only done probably a little, it's less than 10 commissions in my entire life. And I never got hung up on them. I just did them. A friend wanted a water lily. I made him a water lily. Another friend wanted 2 specific characters kissing. I made that happen. You know, I never sweated it. I just did my best, and when it was good for them, it was good for them. Yeah, I never got hung up on it. Do you admit that paint smells good? You know, oil paint does smell good. It does. I like the smell of oil paint. Not so much acrylic, but oil paint is really fun to smell. What would you tell your younger self? Do it way more often. Do it way more often. Have a good one. This was really long.